So here we are with this article from Bounding into Comics from Jacob Smith. Link will be in the subscription. New report reveals Marvel Studios lost $300 million on Antman and the Wasp, Quantumania, and the Marvels. Honestly, from what I understand of those two movies, that makes absolute perfect sense. If there is one thing that modern Hollywood is great at, it's losing millions of dollars on films you didn't want to watch. And perhaps no studio in recent years has been more skilled in doing so than Disney. Isn't that the truth? If Falling Upwards was a competition, Disney would be pound for pound the number one ranked in the world. 2023 was a rough year for Disney-backed Marvel Studios creatively, financially, and even legally. When the year began, Marvel had planned for actor Jonathan Majors to be the villainous face of the next phase of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, with his role as the time-traveling Kang the Conqueror set to start with Antman and the Wasp, Quantumania, and at least the next Avengers movie set, then entitled Avengers Kang Dynasty. Honestly, this was one of the dumbest things that I think Disney had ever done. Kang is a great villain. He's just not well known at all. And it was going to be a stretch to get him connected to audiences as well as comic book readers. Several months and a nasty legal battle later, not only was Majors out as Kang, which was a surprise to me, then even the fact that they found him guilty. He is a POC, and we all know that that comes with a bit of plot armor. But Disney also wound up losing millions on these two Phase 6 films, Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, and the Marvels, aka Captain Marvel 2. And honestly, if you want to say that Captain Marvel was well received, if it was so well received, then why wasn't its second part called Captain Marvel 2? More specifically, per Disney's financial statements from 2023, as obtained and relayed by Forbes, the respective box office failures of both films resulted in a roughly $296.4 million loss for the House of Mouse. Released in February 2023, Quantumania was a major disappointment as the film was set up to bring in Majors Kang as the next Thanos-level Marvel villain. However, this selling point did little to bring in viewers, who instead just didn't bother to see Kang's reveal on the big screen. As a result, the film only drew in $476.1 million worldwide against a production budget of somewhere between $280 million and $320 million. That is terrible, folks. If you know anything about how the movies are, and about how the money works within these studios, that ain't good at all. Several months later, Brie Larson made her post-Shang-Chi MCU return in The Marvels, wherein Larson's Captain Marvel joined Iman Vellani's Ms. Marvel and Teyonah Parris as Monica Rambeau to form a trio of spacefaring heroes. Sorry if I mispronounced those first time going through it, okay? But rather than smash TV movie crossover hit Disney execs thought it would be, the film ultimately turned out to be the franchise's biggest disaster, drawing in just $206.1 million on a production budget that is said to have surpassed $270 million. I'm trying to figure out where all this money is going to. I mean, this is Adam Sandler math, for crying out loud. Adam Sandler can make a movie for $80 million, make $20 million on it, and somehow is still wealthy. I don't know what it is. I'm serious. He's figured out the angle, and I think Disney's trying to figure it out as well. As a result, the film has gone down in history as not just the lowest grossing film of the MCU thus far, and one of the few MCU films not to break even in its theatrical run. According to Forbes, as both movies went on to gross $682.2 million worldwide, after the studios split the box office with the theaters, Marvel Studios only earned $341 million from both movies, leaving them with a combined loss of almost $300 million. And in Hollywood, that does not go. Okay? When you account for the marketing budget for both of these movies, which in Hollywood is generally calculated to be at least equal to that of a respective film's production budget, Disney sunk over $1 billion into Quantumania and the Marvels, only to recoup roughly 35% back. This loss, as well as the overall failure of the MCU Phase 5, was so great that it prompted Marvel Studios to not just scrap their plans for Kang altogether, but also bring back both the Russo brothers and Robert Downey Jr. for the Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars. We all knew this was going to happen. I mean, Joe Rogan had it pegged completely in his interview with Robert Downey Jr., if you remember that. Admittedly, 2024 has been a much better ride for the MCU, with Deadpool and the Wolverine having earned 1.3 billion worldwide, the largest box office pull for a rated R movie of all time. While the short-term victory looks good for Disney's quarterly statements, the question remains if Marvel can turn the ship around completely in 2025. Next up for Marvel is the troubled Captain America Brave New World, which has already been delayed by 2 years and was reshot almost entirely due to failed test screenings for the film. Its estimated budget currently sits at 350 to 375 million, meaning that the film will have to be a monster worldwide hit for the mouse to even think of sniffing a profit. The studio is also banking on the success of their villain team-up film Thunderbolts, which is set for release in May 2025. Believe me, I am not holding my breath for that one. Now, as we come over here and we take a look at Captain America Brave New World, now, as we saw from the last article, Marvel is banking on this film. But as far as this article is concerned, that may be a false hope. Two different cuts of the film screened last week, and plot details for one of the cuts have leaked online. I have read these. Go and read this yourself if you want to follow this article. It ain't good. The person who attended didn't seem to like the movie all that much. Based on folks I've spoken to, those who have attended were either given a red or green bracelet and were split up into two different theaters. The reactions I've heard have not been very kind to this movie, which is being described as inessential and flat. Well, let's put it to you this way. Absolutely no movie is essential, all right? They're works of entertainment, all right? So while entertainment may be essential for your overall peace of mind, it doesn't have to be a movie. Let's just put it that way. You can read the leaked plot points above, or if you don't want things to get spoiled for you, here's the official synopsis that was unveiled in July. After meeting with newly elected U.S. President Thaddeus Ross, played by Harrison Ford, in his Marvel Cinematic Universe debut, Sam finds himself in the middle of an international incident. He must discover the reasons behind a nefarious global plot before the true mastermind has the entire world seeing red. I'm going to spoil it. It is the mastermind. In a feat of crossover madness, they decided to lift the mastermind from 2008 and inject a credible Hulk villain into Captain America. Also, okay, in the comic books, Falcon becoming Captain America did not work. It didn't. Even Bucky becoming Captain America didn't work, and Bucky is closer to being a super soldier than the Falcon ever was. This is, again, this is all a part of the DEI movement in Marvel. They are still holding on to this. They are going to ride this for whatever they think it's worth. And honestly, if they keep losing money, great. Reshoots on Brave New World happened in August. This could explain why two different cuts were shown. Last year, after receiving negative test scores in another screening and Marvel themselves underwhelmed by an early cut they saw of the film, Brave New World was delayed to February 2025. This movie has been delayed for at least 2 years. Extensive reshoots were called, with 3 major action sequences having been filmed between May and August of 2024 in Atlanta. Brave New World had originally wrapped filming in June 2023 and was set for a July 2024 release date, but it's now turned into this monstrous mess for Marvel. You just don't push a movie this big out of your calendar and then decide to dump it in February unless major trouble is brewing. This movie is going to go down in flames, mainly because it has cost almost $400 million. You're looking at 350, some people are saying 375. And then when you top everything that they're going to dump on it as far as advertising is concerned, you're going to be looking at like a $500 million bill almost. And then if you go with the good old 2.5 times the budget, you're looking at over $1 billion this movie has to make just to break even. Okay, so I hate to say it because it's a Captain America movie and I love Captain America, but this movie looks like it's got bomb written all over it. So that's it, folks. When it all comes down to it, Marvel's not doing too well. Their push for more inclusivity along with their DEI initiatives are not going over well with the general public. I have pretty much given up Marvel movies. They were something that I and my kids, or me and my kids, loved to go to and to enjoy together. But they've just gotten too bad and too preachy. So, folks, thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed my little spiel today. Please subscribe. I am looking to be at 1,000 subscribers by the time that I'm raiding my kids' Halloween candy. So by all means, please hit that subscribe button. Do have a like, comment on this. I want to hear what everybody else thinks. Do you think that this movie is going to crap the bed as bad as I think it's going to crap the bed, or as bad as the Marvels and Quantumania crap the bed? Dude, come on, let's start the conversation. Let's see what we can do. Let's see what we can get hashed out. But thank you all very much. Hear from you tomorrow. Later.